And welcome back to All Day Live. I'm Amy Hockert. We're glad you're with us here on this Friday. One of the ways immigration operations have impacted the community is in our schools. We know that some districts have moved to an e-learning option based on the rising number of students not coming to class. Minneapolis is one of those districts. Joining us now, Collin Beachy, School Board Chair for Minneapolis Public Schools. Thanks for being with us.
Yes, of course. Good to see you again, Amy.
Yeah, good to see you. So how big is this impact? Any idea about percentages of students that have moved to virtual learning in the last month?
Yeah, what I can, listen, I haven't been updated on the latest numbers, but when this started on the first Monday that we had the online learning option, I think I had heard around 6,500 students was the number that we had started with.
Okay, and you're part of a group that's giving, is it the weekly updates to the community? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, and so this was started by Councilwoman Chowdhury. And so we just felt like this was a good time for everybody to know that our government officials are working together, and we're speaking with each other, and we're making sure that we're using the correct resources with everyone, and that communication is really super important for people. And so we felt it was important for the community to know and to see and to understand that their local and state officials are working together, and their county officials are working together. And so every week you're seeing a lot of the same faces, but we're trying to make sure that we're spreading this out so everybody is hearing from everyone, as many people who are in districts who are being affected by all of this.
How about from the teacher's perspective? A lot of questions here, but how are they maintaining any sort of normalcy within their classrooms right now? We'll start there.
Yeah, look, it's going to look different at every school where we're at. It just depends on the number of students who are out. Unfortunately, as I had said in an earlier interview, we've been through this before with the COVID, and so I think our teachers are prepared for this and how to make this work. But I know that on that Friday before we went to distance learning, the principal spent a lot of time talking to their staffs about trying to make sure that we do whatever we can to try and keep things as normal as possible for our students. And I'm confident that that's going on in our classrooms, despite the level of anxiety and fear that many of our students are bringing every day.
And COVID obviously brought that up, really taught us that e-learning isn't for everyone as far as learning style, and we've now been able to see some of the discrepancies in learning, and now we're looking at primarily communities of color who are affected by this. I know it's down the road, but are these things that you're thinking about, and how to if it's widening the education gap there, things that you might be able to do to help?
Yeah, I mean, all of these things are a consideration, and it's not only that, it's about the food service delivery that we have to do that has an impact on that budget that we have as well. So yeah, I mean, that is a big concern, but I guess maybe just outside of the immediate thing that's going on here, just in terms of where we are moving the district based on the board priorities that we have sent to the superintendent. Those are things that we're already kind of be looking into just sort of in general. Mm-hmm. And I think, understand that this is going to perhaps exacerbate that in some situations. But, one thing, if I could, I think that one of the biggest concerns that I have is the long-term effects that this is going to have. And so we've been spending a lot of time trying to figure out how are we dealing with our students mentally. And, I can say that the district right now, I know, is in talks with one of the larger hospitals here in the city to kind of be creating a long-term partnership for how we're going to deal with some of these long-lasting effects that are going to be affecting all of our students.
Do you anticipate, going to the legislature? I don't know if that's really under your purview, but to ask for more money for resources. We know that the mental health after COVID, kind of going back to that, was really a struggle, and not enough people to help out within the schools. I mean, I think that's great news that you're making some progress there. Will there be other avenues that you'll be trying to explore as well to try to bring more support in other ways?
Yeah, I mean, and first of all, listen, I cannot say enough about the parents and the people. No, people have stepped up for our kids, and we're at a point where we're actually turning people away because of we have too many people who want to help, and so yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot your question.
No, it's okay. It's okay. If I could ask you along those lines, just about my conversations with people, it's my understanding, teachers are often, because there's little to no trust in a lot of the communities that we're talking about. Teachers are sometimes kind of a safe place for these families, and
Yeah.
I'm wondering, what are teachers able to do? What are they doing, and what support do they need to do what they need to do?
Well, we have our counseling and our social workers are really kind of putting in their own sort of programming that's going to look different in each school. And again, long term, we're looking at how that is going to look. And for our teachers, this is a time when this is the tough part about what we have to do here. I mean, we have our own fears, we have our own concerns, but you mentioned the word earlier, normalcy, and that's the most important thing for our students. And this is some of those times where we've got to show up with that brave face, even if we're not feeling it. And our teachers are doing that, and they're going to continue to do that. But then I think that just really what goes on is that the principals are having lots of conversations with their staffs, and then the principals are having their conversations with the district, and then we're just trying to figure out what it is that everyone needs, and we're trying to provide whatever supports that we can. And again, with the community partners, I think if there's something that we as a district cannot provide, there are places that we can start reaching out to see if we can be partnering with someone in the community to help.
As far as the school board goes, is there anything else that we should know about? I'm curious about the e-learning option. It's my understanding it was slated to end February 12th. Is that right? Do you think it will continue, or what do you think?
I don't know. I can't say yet. I mean, we have to go by the facts on the ground. Look, we need our kids in school. I mean, I think we learned that from the pandemic, as you had said before too. And something I'd like to just sort of say too. I agree with my colleague Director Emmerich that some of this narrative needs to change here about families and students being afraid to come to school. I just don't think we should be putting this on them. They weren't afraid to come to school a couple months ago. So the fact of the matter is that the conditions on the ground have made it unsafe for them to come to school. And so we just have to keep monitoring those conditions. I'm somewhat hopeful over the last couple of days that it sounds like some of the temperature in terms of the language is being brought down a little bit. But we're still seeing some of the same tactics. So we're just gonna have to play it by ear. And I think it's too early right now, to be honest, to ask that. My preference would be to have everyone back in school, but we just really have to see what our families are needing.
All right. Collin Beachy is the school board chair for Minneapolis Public Schools. We really appreciate you taking some time out today to update us on everything that's been going on, and we'll hope to check back in with you soon.
Yeah, thank you, and stay safe, everyone. And this is a tough time, but I got to tell you that parade, that march, that's the most Minnesota thing ever. On the coldest day, everyone's standing up for their community, everyone's standing up for their neighbors, and that's what we're about in Minneapolis. That's what we're about in Minnesota. And we're gonna get through this, and we're just gonna be so much stronger after this. So hang in there, everyone.
Thanks, Collin. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon. All right.